welcome to the video. This is part 2. I just published the what I read in May and June, and then it was getting too long, so I decided to make this its own video. So welcome. If you're just clicking on this, hello, my name is Summer and I review books, I vlog, and I talk a lot about Kindle. So without further ado, here are all the books that I would like to read in July. All right, now moving on to my July TBR. So obviously we have Reckless, which is the sequel to Powerless, coming out in just a couple of days. Some that have been sitting on my shelf that have been calling my name are The Resort by Sarah Oakes. I don't know how you say that. But for some reason, this just seemed like a really summery read. This is a thriller that's set at a resort, and I've been trying to actually read books that are set in the summer, and I might actually do a whole video on summer reads, which is funny because my name is Summer. But I have gotten some comments of people asking me to do like summer reads or summer themed books, so I might actually do that. So if I read this one, I'll let you guys know what I thought about that. Editing me is watching this, realizing I never gave any sort of description, but this one is like a paradise themed one, and I actually just saw one yesterday that I need to look up that I almost got, but it was a hardcover. I know this one's a hardcover, but I've suspended my book of the month because I just wasn't reading them in the hardcovers. But anyway, this one is like a resort thriller situation, and I like how it has this list where it says leave the past behind, always be careful who you trust, and if someone who discovers who you really are, run. So I love this because I love anything thriller and paradise/vacation themed. So this one hopefully will be really good. Also, I just love the cover. The next one that I really need to read because this got picked up by a publisher. This was a first edition, I believe, of the indie published version. It's like it's like really tiny, but it's so chunky, as you can see, and the font is kind of small. I think they increased the size of the font, and they gave the cover a foil. I actually show that in my next vlog, where the cover is foiled on, like, it's beautiful already. The camera doesn't do it justice, but now there's foil on it. And then there's also, I think, I can't remember, is it Fairy Loot? Someone is doing like a sprayed edge version, and I want it so bad. So I don't know. This one has just been getting so much hype. I actually saw a TikTok that explains the world building, and I saved that TikTok so that way I could go back to it because she explained all the world building, just so that way we didn't have to go back and do it in case we were feeling intimidated, because it is kind of intimidating. And there's like a glossary. The first few pages are just like straight glossary, and I think that oh my gosh, actually so many pages are just the glossary, which I love, but also can be very intimidating, I think. So I really want to read When the Moon Hatched, and there's now an audio version on Audible, which is awesome because I like to have both sometimes as I'm reading. This is a heavy book. I kind of want to know how much it weighs. This is a chunk. Camera is not doing it justice, but it is a series, so I want to get to that. The next one that I have is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher, and this one, not the camera. This one, I just saw that the second one came out. What is it? Love Unwritten, I think, is the next one, and I love on the spines when it lists the number of the books, that way you can see it easily, like which one's which. This one is also so chunky. This one's on Kindle Unlimited, but I love having the Lauren Asher ones in person just because they're so pretty on the inside, and I love the font. There's just something addictive about reading the font in her books and having them, because they're just so chunky, but they go so quickly. So it's like so satisfying. But they are on Kindle Unlimited. So this one is the Lakefront Billionaires. This one is not the same as the fine print series, but it's by the same author. So I really want to read this because I think it'll be pretty easy and quick to read. This one's about an interior designer, I think. Sounds like it should be like on HGTV or something. The next one that has been sitting on my shelf, but I haven't read it, is Elsie Silver's Wild Love. This one, I just saw the second book has been announced for that one, so I really want to read the Rose Hill series as well. This one reminds me of Worth the Risk. Like, Worth the Risk was kind of in the same vein of what the Elsie Silver Rose Hill kind of reminds me of. So that kind of genre. So if you're really into Elsie Silver or Lauren Asher, you would love this one. And oh my gosh, I didn't even notice this till now. This one has an Ali Hazelwood blurb. That's so funny. I feel like all of these different authors have blurbs on each other's covers. Okay, speaking of Ali Hazelwood, I really want to read Not in Love by her. I just downloaded the sample. And then also this one, I just want to tell you guys about this one, The White Rose of Texas. I accidentally bought this one for myself as a present. Like, I hit pre-order instead of get a sample, so The White Rose of Texas might be on my TBR as well. And then yesterday, I couldn't help myself, but I got 2 books while I was at Target. So the sticker placement here is 0 out of 10. At least over here, they like put it on the bottom right, but I always hate having to tear these stickers off because it's a task. You need some Goo Gone or something. Got this one because it's beautiful. Again, I don't feel like the camera is doing it justice, but it is going to look so pretty next to the 7-Year Slip, which is also by Ashley. I think it's Poston, but I keep saying Poston, but I think it's Poston. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know. And this one just looked really cute. Like, she's in a romance novel, and I just couldn't help myself but buy it. And then this one is also by Lauren Asher, and it is a romance about car racing. Am I into car racing? No. Did this seem really good? Yes, I saw someone else reading it. Who was I watching? It might have been Madison Kate. I don't remember who I was watching, but she was reading this, I think. Who was it? I don't remember. Somebody was reading this book, and it just looked really pretty. It looked so aesthetic in that vlog, and I just wanted to read it. It has like foil on the cover and on the side, and once I tear the sticker off, it'll look a lot better. But this one is a dual perspective one about car racing, so this one is really pretty on the inside as well, and I love kind of the dual perspective, so we will see how that one goes. And sometimes, here's the deal, when I'm at Target trying to decide what to buy, and I'm trying not to buy the entire store, I like to open it and look at the font size, look at the inside, and see if I'm going to enjoy it, because half the time when I buy a book and I haven't looked at the inside, the font is like teeny tiny or something like that. And so if the font is weird or something like that, then I'll definitely get it on the Kindle instead. But I've just been really wanting color covers now that I've seen them on people's Kobo Libras. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if I could ever betray Kindle and not have my entire library on there. So Kindle, Amazon, if you're listening to this, work on that color situation and let me know if you guys have Kobo Libras or something like that, because I am so interested. So thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed kind of the wrap up and all of the TBR books. Please make sure you subscribe to get to watch all the vlogs and my thoughts on all of these. And please comment below if you have read or you're interested in reading any of these. Let me know your thoughts. My favorite part of doing these is really getting to interact with you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.